going on, Laker fans? What is going on? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the post-game show after the post-game show. Lakers get their you-know-what's kick tonight against the Clippers, 133 to 115. Want to spend some time tonight talking about we'll talk about the actual game, talk about the potential that the Clippers have when they are clicking, and tonight they were clicking and they were healthy. Kind of crazy how deep that team is, and now they're only 2 games over 500. That's interesting. Spend some time talking about the decision to pull the players with 5 minutes left to go. Braun, 46 points. I'll spend some time where LeBron is too. He's going to pass Kareem here very, very, very soon, by the way. That's going to happen sooner than later. And then we got finally some good news here. The Lakers could have some people back tomorrow, some real people back tomorrow. Hachimura is available, and Anthony Davis looks like he's going to be available too. So we'll get into that and what that means for the Lakers. So appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Let's get started here. Okay, so real quick, Clippers. Damn. Before I even sat down, Lakers were down 9-0. Lakers never led in this game. Halftime, the Clippers were up 23-0. Or I'm sorry, they were up by 23, and the Lakers never had a lead in this game. So it was a domination from the Clippers right out the gate. Why is this the Clippers Super Bowl every time the Lakers and the Clippers play each other? I mean, Jesus. The way they play the Lakers, it's literally as if it's the most important game in the world, and it's just a regular season game. So the Clippers freaking looked really good tonight. They shot 60% from the field. They shot 60% from the field. They shot 50% from 3. They shot 80% from the free throw line. I mean, these guys wouldn't miss a shot. Incredible for them to play as well as they did. And, I will say this, and I've said this before. On paper, that's a really good freaking team on paper. But you can't win by playing games on paper. They're 26-24. I asked Youngmasuk, who covers the NBA, covers the Clippers for ESPN, joined us on the pregame show, Michael and I. And we had a lot of questions, right? Like, what's the strategy here? Are they just going to keep resting guys? How much of this is health? How much is this just trying to do this for the playoffs? Whatever the case is. And he said, it's been a little back and forth. Obviously, they've gained no continuity so far. But they still got time, right? You got 30-plus games left. For the first time, I'm starting to see Kawhi and PG playing major minutes together, at least, this season. Kawhi put up 35 minutes tonight. PG put up 36 minutes. Last game, it was similar minutes. They played against the Dallas Mavericks. So maybe, just maybe, the Clippers are going to start, maybe they don't play some of these guys in back-to-backs. But it looks like they're going to start moving up those standings. They got a squad. I just don't know if, by the time you get to the postseason and the playoffs, are the Clippers a team that you can depend on? I don't know. All I know is that every time I watch them against the Lakers, Luke Kennard usually looks like Larry Bird. Zubats looks like Kareem. Not literally, but you guys know what I'm talking about. These guys all come out and they perform. So I will say that against the Lakers, they always look good, and that's 10 wins in a row for the Clippers against the Lakers. Now, on the Lakers side of things, I don't really know what to tell you. If a squad's going to shoot 60% from the field, they're probably going to win the game. If they're going to shoot 50% from 3, they're probably going to win the game. And the Lakers' defense was obviously just not good enough. They put up 77 points in the first half. In the first half, they put up 77 points. So, there is obviously part of this game tonight. It was the Lakers not being able to get any stops. And Clippers hitting a lot of tough shots. There were some, threes in the first half that I thought you don't have a hand up or somebody's not rotating. But for the most part, Clippers were hitting a lot of their shots, and that's kind of all she wrote. LeBron had 46 tonight. He hit 9 threes, a career high in 3-point shots, 3-point field goals made. He had 40 plus points against the Clippers, which is the first time he's ever done that, which now means he's had 40 plus points versus every team in the NBA. No other player has done that. I think, if I'm right, if I heard this right, Kobe had done that to 29 teams. James Harden had done that to 29 teams. Nobody's done it to all 30 teams. And obviously LeBron just did that. So doesn't really mean much when it's coming off a loss. This game was tough. You know, Dennis Schroeder only had 7 tonight. He struggled from the field 3 of 9. Pat Bev was just 1 of 8. Russ was 4 of 13. So offensively for the Lakers, they were not efficient, and the Clippers were incredibly efficient. So that's your ball game right there. That's the difference of the game. You just got one squad that was hitting every shot that they took, one team that was clicking, and for the Lakers, they're just trying to survive before they actually get some of their players back. And we got some good news on that front in just a second, but let me read off some comments here. I'm actually going to do this. Give me a second here, Laker fans. It'd be easier for me to read the comments here. Stay with me. Stay with me. Okay. All right. Some of the comments here. We'll read what you guys are saying here. Ugly loss. I don't know if it was an ugly loss. To be honest with you, it was kind of. They're a good team, and you got to have your guys. And the Lakers don't have their guys. So I like how the Lakers were trying to make it interesting there in the fourth quarter. Got all the way down to 10. Had some chances, but just wasn't in the cards tonight. The Clippers are just a better team than us, bottom line, from the ownership group to the ball boys. Well, I get the Steve Ballmer's worth whatever amount of $1 billion that he's worth, but just want to remind you something about the Clippers. Everything that they have done, the front office moves that they've made, the depth on that team, which is ridiculous depth, they also still have never won anything. So you gotta kind of remind yourself of that. Lakers won a championship 2.5 years ago or whatever that is. All right, let's see what else we got here. Somebody says they feel like throwing up. Don't throw up. You'll be fine. No fist bumps tonight. You're right. My hands are in my pocket. They're not really in my pocket, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's see what else we got here. Flippers beat us. That's considered a championship. Man, they freaking... How come they play all their best games against the Lakers? Jesus. All right, here's another one. We're still guard heavy. Really, we need to be either Russ or Bev, who goes, whatever deal works. Okay, so a couple things that we can start kind of get into now. This is what this does to the NBA standings for the Lakers. Fall back down to 13. Man, we cannot just freaking get into this playoff picture. 22 and 26. They're 4 games below 500. If you guys remember me saying this after the Portland game, I think I said it before the Portland game too. I said, can you get 2 of 3? Portland, Clippers, San Antonio, Spurs. You got the Spurs tomorrow. Get tomorrow. You take 2 of 3 from there. But 22 and 26, so, kind of back in the same picture, same boat as the Lakers have been. Clippers move up to the number 5 spot. They have the tiebreaker over the Lakers as well. So I don't think the Lakers will end up having a better record than the Clippers, especially if the Clippers kind of start their push right now. So that's where we are in the NBA standings. I'm going to just throw this one out here real quick, and then there's some other stuff that I want to get into. So Bron, 46 tonight. He's 178 points away from breaking Kareem's record. And kind of according to, look at the schedule. So if he puts up 30 points a game, I think he gets it done in 6 games. Spurs, Boston, Brooklyn, New York. Indiana, New Orleans would be 6 games. That game would be on the road. If he's averaging 30 a game. So probably you could say maybe most likely against the Oklahoma City Thunder back here in LA. That would be the hope that he does it then. But just something to keep in mind because we're actually close enough now to that number where that countdown is going to start. Okay, now let's get to the important stuff, the things that we all want to talk about, and that's about um, what's going on with the Lakers moving forward. So, got their what's kick tonight. Put that to the side. It's not a big shock. You would have hoped it would have been a good game, close game. Lakers have been fighting, but Clippers were hitting everything tonight. Dave McMenamin put out a tweet a little bit earlier, and two tweets that I want to read from McMenamin. So, Rui Hachimura, who was there today, I put up a couple videos of him pregame, just kind of warming up, taking some threes, looked good out there. Huge dude, 6'8", and he's not skinny too. He's got some good size for the NBA. Dave McMenamin put out that Rui Hachimura will be available to play Wednesday versus San Antonio. Lakers got a game against the Spurs tomorrow. Rui's going to be available. So we'll get our first chance to see him in the Lakers lineup. Imagine how much the Lakers could have used him tonight. Certainly could have used him, and excited to see him play for the first time tomorrow. Another person the Lakers could have used tonight. Dave McMenamin says, LA Lakers star big man Anthony Davis will return to the lineup Wednesday versus San Antonio, barring any setback during his pregame warm-up, league sources told ESPN. He'll be back in the lineup 5.5 weeks after suffering a fractured bone spur and stress reaction in his right foot. Okay, so Laker fans, let me get this straight here. Lakers still in the mix of the standings. You went out and you made a trade. You got somebody that you desperately need in Hachimura. You got Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves reevaluated at the end of this week. And then you got Anthony Davis also coming back tomorrow. I'm not saying the Lakers are in a perfect position because they're not. They're 4 games below 500. But I've seen enough from this team to tell you that it's a pretty decent team. They got to get healthy. Well, health is finally coming. So now, those minutes that you see that Troy Brown Jr. are getting, or a ton of minutes that Dennis Schroeder's getting, or Thomas Bryant, they're not going to be relying on these guys every single night. Now these guys become a luxury, not a necessity. So let's get AD back in the lineup starting tomorrow. Let's get Hachimura in there as quick as possible so he can start getting comfortable. And it's obviously, I think, really positive that this game coming up tomorrow is against the San Antonio Spurs, who have one of the worst records in the NBA. You've already beat them 3 times this season. Hopefully, this is kind of a good little warm-up for Hachimura, a warm-up for Anthony Davis, get a little more comfortable, get his feet under him, and then you go on that 5-game road trip. It's going to be tough. There's no other way to put it. That road trip, you got the Boston Celtics coming up. You got the New York Knicks you got Brooklyn after that. Then you got the Knicks on a back-to-back. Indiana and New Orleans, you might get lucky that those 2 teams are both going the opposite direction right now. One is because Tyrese Halliburton is out for, the Pacers and has been out. Zion, we know, is out for another couple of weeks. I'm not sure. I think Ingram's still out as well. So we'll see. Those 2 teams aren't playing the best of basketball. So the Lakers will, obviously will get a chance here to make up, or we'll get a chance to just get healthy and see what they could do. So here's what's kind of interesting. If they can win 4 of the next 6 games, again, you're kind of inching back to close to 500. We'll see if that's enough, depending on what the NBA standings are. But eventually, the Lakers are going to have to win some games. They're going to have to do it and win often. Okay, one other thing that I want to do here, and I appreciate, as always, you guys being a part of the show. Let's see what else we got here. Alan, where's your tie? Not wearing a tie. 0-10 versus the Clippers is embarrassing. Not really going to lie about that. That's definitely not something that, we're proud of as Laker fans. Let's see what else we can here. Can't wait to see Hachimura and AD in the lineup tomorrow. I'm with you, man. That makes that lineup exciting tomorrow. I'm very, very excited to see both of those players. Anthony Davis was so unbelievable for the Lakers in the games that he was playing, and then he got injured. So to get Anthony Davis back and get another 6'8" wing that the Lakers didn't have, look how instantly the size just completely changes for the Lakers. And then hopefully in the next week or so, you end up with Anthony Davis, or I'm sorry, you end up with Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker as well, and you got your freaking full squad. I'll take my chances with that team. I'm not telling you it's perfect, but I will take my chances with that team. Okay, this is the other thing I want to point out. So pregame show or during pregame, while I was doing my pregame, Palenka was introducing Rui Hachimura to the media and to the NBA and or to the Lakers. So there's a couple quotes that I want to read off specifically from Palenka, and we'll take it from there. Here's one of his quotes. He says, "We felt like it was an opportunity for us to strike early and address a need in the market that has proven to be a little bit slow." I agree with you got about 15, 16 days left until the trade deadline. And I like how the Lakers, they got this part done. It's out of the way. They were really one of the first teams to strike. And at least your 6'8" wing, you could put to the side there. Okay, that part's handled. Here's the quote that I want you guys to really pay attention. "And it doesn't mean our work is finished. We're going to continue to monitor the situation with the 29 other teams. Our job as a front office is always to look to improve our team both now and in the future, and we felt like Rue was a perfect way to do that, and that's why we struck early." Okay. The quote of "it doesn't mean our work is finished." I don't know what the Lakers are going to do. I don't know if they got another game plan in mind. I don't know if they're going to use those first rounders, no questions asked. I always felt like, and I mentioned this before, you got to get in the playoffs. Like, you can't just not do anything. You got to get the squad in the playoffs. You got to give LeBron, Anthony Davis, and I'm assuming Russ as well, a chance in the postseason to get a playoff run. And if they lost in the first round because they matched up against Memphis and Memphis beat them in 6, okay, well, it is what it is. But you got to at least get in the playoffs, because we saw the last time Bron and Anthony Davis were in the playoffs together, amazing things happened. The Lakers walked away with a championship. Maybe that chapter is over, but maybe it's not. So you got to get in the postseason. Okay, that's number one. I don't know what they do from here. I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to do something else. I wouldn't be surprised if, the market's going to play itself. And in a week, if the market is a lot less expensive than it was 2 weeks ago, maybe they strike again. If it's incredible, I'm going to use a player that I love, and I've mentioned the player before, Bogdanovich. If there's 6 other teams going after Bogdanovich and the offers are crazy, may the Lakers just back out and say, guys, we can't do anything. It's not worth it for us to go after Bogdanovich. This isn't Damian Lillard or, KD or something like that. One other quote I'm going to read from Palenka. "I think the calculus for the Lakers is to win a championship or not. There's no in-between or incremental growth. So as we analyze opportunities, we have to do it through that lens. And I said this at the beginning of the season. If there's an opportunity to get all the way to the end and win a championship, there's no resource we'll hold that we'll hold on to if we feel like that's there. The question is going to come down to, will that opportunity be in front of the Lakers? And it may very well not be. And if it is, I do believe Rob Pelinka with what he's saying. Guys, he's got LeBron and Anthony Davis. Bron is not here just hanging out. He does want to compete for an NBA championship. And the Lakers, they're positioned differently than a lot of other teams in other markets. I'm not downplaying draft picks, but I'm also the Lakers can do business differently than the way New Orleans has to do it, and the way Memphis has to do it, and the way the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. They do business differently, and they are an attractive location for free agents and guys that are looking to get the minimum, and guys that are just trying to resurrect their career again, or they just want they know how many nationally televised games that the Lakers get. So there are advantages of being the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to believe Pelinka in his quote of, there's no resource we'll hold on to if we feel like that's there. And he's talking about competing for a championship. So let's see what happens. The good news here for the Lakers after this loss tonight with the Clippers is we got news that Anthony Davis and Rui Hachimura will be both part of the Lakers tomorrow against the San Antonio Spurs. And then let's see what the Lakers do from there. I still think health is going to be so critical for the Lakers moving forward. But the trade deadline, 2 weeks from Thursday, and the Lakers still got some time to add to this roster if they feel like the right deal is out there. All right, Laker fans, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be back on tomorrow. Looking forward to kind of analyze the Lakers with AD and with Rui and see how they do, and we'll come back and do the post-game show after the post-game show. Please subscribe to the channel, Laker fans. Would greatly appreciate that you guys do that. Hit that notification button, and I'll be back tomorrow. So hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And Lakers getting healthy, and hopefully that's adding some W's in the near future. Thank you, Laker fans. Have a good night.